nothing like a trip to clear the mind, lighten the soul. We're better than at 30,000 feet. Can you get some perspective on life? Listen up as Reid provides you some travel tips for your next journey. Not necessarily safe.
Travel is an important part of life, and I've been very blessed throughout my life to visit a great many countries. I've actually lived in 6 and take international trips every year. I think it's an important way to broaden your knowledge base and a great way to meet people as well. And I wanted to give you a couple of tips that I've acquired over the last 30 years of traveling. I think that you might find some of them useful. Tip number 1. Go early to the airport. Why? Humans are animals. We are a sort of an animal, and there's wondrous variety within our species. You don't need to go to the zoo. You don't need to go to SeaWorld. You can drop into the airport, you're going to see all the animals that you need to see. You could go to the mall, there's plenty of animals at the mall. But at the airport, you have wondrous variety. And in Orlando, we're blessed with the fact that people come from all over the world to visit our lovely theme parks. It's not quite as good, to be honest, as Toronto or some other international airports, because we don't have that many Southeastern Asians that come to Orlando. And they're the most entertaining to watch, in my opinion, because they come in large groups, and it's complete and utter chaos. Madness. Family members screaming, and they're unpacking their bags because they're over their weight limit. It's complete madness. Highly entertaining. I'd also suggest that you go early for a second reason, because there's an organization that you may be aware of called the TSA, Transportation Safety Authority. Want to talk about expanded government? 58,401 employees at the moment.
Wow.
At about $50,000 a year, that's $2.9 billion a year we spend on being searched, appropriately or inappropriately. There's a surfeit of agents standing in the row waiting for you to show up. They get their grubby little hands all over you and your things. So I'd suggest you go early for that. I'd also suggest that you do what the TSA says, because they're the experts on the subject of security and safety. When they say don't bring liquids, don't bring liquids. It really pisses me off. If you have liquids in line and then they've got to go through your bag and there's this whole fight, oh, but I paid $50 for that moisturizer, I really want to keep it. Well, you know what? You're not going to get to keep it. So I would suggest you just comply. Also, if they want you to take out your laptop, take off your shoes, remove your underwear bomb, I'd suggest that you do that. It'll just make things go faster for everyone. But the main reason to comply with the TSA agents is humiliation. I suspect that the government has put these people into training programs for the sole purpose of humiliating you. You've heard of the SAC Comedy Lab here in town. I'm pretty sure the TSA agents have been there. And they've learned different ways in which to examine you as you walk through the line and make fun of you as you fail to comply. So comply, and you won't be made fun of, and your trip will be just a little bit better. I'd also suggest you eat before you go. Why? Airports now are basically giant malls. And we're captive consumers. And they jack the prices up. Except in Philadelphia, where they actually have a rule that you will not pay any more in the stores in the airport than outside, which is very interesting. But everywhere else in the world will charge you through the nose for the products that you would get outside the mall. And if you eat in advance of going to the mall, then you won't eat so much at the mall. And then you won't sit on the plane with that Cinnabon growing and growing and growing, expanding into my seat. And another trick is go direct to the gate when you get to the airport. Then you won't have the temptation to spend. And you'll have more money to spend when you get there. Could I also ask that you wear proper clothing to the airport? There are probably only 2 or 3 of us here who could not remember back in the day when you would have to dress up. It was normal to wear, I remember wearing a cute little suit when I was this tall, brown jacket and corduroy pants and nasty plaid ties. And we dressed up to go to the airport. What a foreign concept, because now people are wearing their pajamas and carrying their teddy bears and pillows. And it's not just teenagers. There's another reason to wear proper clothing. The airport sees a great deal of traffic. And do you really want to be skin to skin with so many other people and things that have touched other people? A little OCD maybe, but it's a hygiene thing. It's just my preference. I like to bring entertainment. If you bring entertainment, it prevents you from shopping, for one thing, because you can't wait to get the gate, sit down and open your book or watch your movie. And you need that entertainment when your flight has you sitting on the tarmac for 2 hours. Now, the government has passed a rule that says the airline cannot keep you on the tarmac for more than 2 hours. So you can assume that you'll be on the tarmac for 2 hours. And you'll need something to do, I assure you. The other reason to bring entertainment is that the airplanes very often have broken entertainment systems. I don't know if you noticed this. I'd say it's, in my experience, 50%. I'm not sure exactly. I'm glad that they concentrate their engineering energy on the plane. But it sure would be nice if they could do both. And I like bringing headphones, even if they're not plugged into anything. I don't like inane conversation beside me, and that's a lot of, you're going to hear a lot of that by the human animals at the airport. More advice. Did your flight get canceled? Don't just stand there. Do something. And when I say do something, I don't mean get in line behind 50 other people who are on your plane and notice that the flight is canceled. They're not going to help you. You've got to help yourself, people. And we have all kinds of ways to do that. Go to the next terminal. Go to the next kiosk down the airport path. You can use your mobile web and book a hotel room. I did that. Big line at the Hilton Hotel check-in in Chicago, which is a terrible place to fly through. And I just laughed as I went straight to my hotel room because I used mobile web. Brilliant. Brilliant. So, don't stand in line. Call somebody. Do something. Think outside the box. Here's the box. This is you over here. Oh dear, we're running out of time. Arrival. When you get to your destination, USA arrivals are very straightforward. Bus. You want to take a bus, taxi, a shuttle, no problem. International arrivals, a little more colorful. You can have long immigration lines. You can have bribery. Missing bags. I don't have any advice for you on that one. This is possibly the best time to be able to travel. It is very inexpensive. It is very easy. There are a plethora of options, lots of destinations. And it may be the last time in our lifetimes that it's this accessible. So I suggest take advantage of it now. And I hope that these points help you. Thanks very much.